It is crazy to think that SpeedQB has extended throughout the whole world. You know, we see people in Puerto Rico, Brazil, Europe, China. You know, it's been adopted everywhere now, and it's awesome. It's amazing to see that people are interested in this kind of thing. And my dream is to visit all of them. You know, kind of see how they do things and see how their play style is, because different countries have different play styles, which is awesome. I like seeing different cultures adopt a certain play style.
Welcome to Bert To The Bone. Today, my guest is known as Virus, and from Team Union, Kevin Tran. Welcome, Kevin.
Hey, thanks for having me, Bert.
No,
Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for being here, man. I really enjoyed that. I mean, we had already SYG. We already had the second to none, and now we have you. And yeah, really to have you.
I'm honored really to be here.
Yeah. So introduce yourself. Do I call you Virus or shall? No, I call you Kevin. Yeah, I call you.
You can
Kevin.
call me Kevin.
Yeah,
call me Kevin.
Kevin, introduce yourself.
Sure. Well, like I said, I'm Kevin. I work at Airsoft GI, so I am working in the airsoft industry. Play for Team Union, known as Union Virus. But I am starting to kind of put my own name on things. So I'm starting to call myself Virus Kevin for Twitch, YouTube purposes. But yeah, most people know me by Union Virus.
Yeah, it's we only spoke once with each other. It was with at a breakout session. We did we had a talk. I saw you twice. In LA playing. First time I saw you in at the 2018 championships in Tech City.
I think so.
Yeah, in Tech City.
I think so.
And after that, I saw you in at Project One. Yeah, Project One last time. I was there with Junkie, and yeah, I met you there. We did a handshake, but we never had a big talk. So it was very hard for me to find some information with somebody who you really don't know, actually have some history with. So, but I'm really happy to hear things. So it's very hard, as I said. And
yeah, it was awesome seeing you guys down here.
Yeah,
it was great to have you guys fly down over here and kind of put in your input and see how LA does things.
You always were interested for me. I mean, we all know why, but we come back to that later. But there's so much actually to talk about teams, and as you see, I talk with American teams, Australian teams, Brazil is coming on, European teams, and I really like. A lot of people has a kind of vision on Union, because Union is very popular over here in Europe. Union is really, really, really popular. You really have no idea. And
I have no idea.
No, you haven't. but it's really. And if you ask them, you're definitely always in the top three. Always. For some players, you are really at number one. So
that's an honor.
That's the thing that I really see that a lot of people don't see in America. That how big it is over here. How they look at some teams in America. And but that's the sport. First, I want to go and dig a little bit deeper so that people know who is Kevin. And I did a little bit of research, and one thing was really funny to actually see. Your study was psychology.
Yeah. So I originally started studying psychology.
Yeah.
I went to the University of California, Riverside. And then I actually switched over to photography.
Yeah.
And then I kind of dropped psychology because I didn't really see myself pursuing psychology as a career. It didn't really just stick to me. I didn't see myself doing that every day. But with photography, it was, a big passion of mine. I could show off myself creatively. And it was just a fun thing to do. And, that's why I kind of stuck with it and dropped psychology. So now I'm doing photography.
I was really questioning myself from how is a guy like you studying psychology and ends up actually as a photographer and a graphic designer. And it was really a switch that I couldn't make. So, but now you do the Kevin T photography.
Yeah. So Kevin T Photography is my professional wedding photography page. So I don't know if you know, but my main source of income is from wedding photography. I'm a professional wedding photographer. I've been doing that for about 7 years. But most recently, with COVID and everything, all the weddings and everything stopped, events stopped, and that kind of put a big hiccup, on my income. But luckily for me, I am also working for Airsoft GI. That's my Monday through Friday. And so during the pandemic, I was still able to work with Airsoft GI. So keep me afloat, kind of carry me on over to now when things are starting to open and, gigs are coming back. So
I really have
things
to
are
say,
looking good.
In the research, I really saw some brilliant photos. I mean, it was.
Oh, thank you.
It was, there are some nice photos. Not only wedding photos, because I saw the sharper shot media. That's something that's something that's completely different, but that's more into
Yeah, so I started Sharper Shot Media Instagram page, and that one was more to show off the other facets of photography that I can do. So that's more like, tactical gear, photographing guns, photographing combat gear, because obviously I can't be advertising and mixing weddings and guns, so I have to keep both feeds consistent. So that's why I created Sharper Shot Media. In case I want to start taking on gigs with more gun or tactical gear related clients.
Man, when I saw that one in the Ferrari, I mean, that's a really cool picture. That's a cool picture. Everybody who listen, just check on Instagram. Check this Instagram account. It's really cool. It's really really
Thank you.
I saw next to that, I really saw that you won a big trophy somewhere a few years ago, and you have to explain this to me because it's about the Underground Gen 15. You won the second place.
Yeah. Wow. I'm surprised you know about that. So way back then, I'm talking maybe like 12 years ago. I used to actually be very big in the hip hop dance scene.
Yeah.
Specifically the competitive hip hop dance teams. And I used to compete on professional teams. We would travel across the nation, compete at tournaments. So it's still within the realm of, being competitive. But it was all about, hip hop dance, choreography, and many countless hours of practice that I will never get back.
Is that the GRV or the GRU where you're dancing with, or?
Yeah. So I started with a team called Underground. That was kind of like the high school team, I guess you could say. And then after that, I went to a collegiate team, higher tier team called GRV. They're very well known in the dance community. They're known for just being like very aggressive dancers, very sharp with their movements. And it was one of my goals to join that team and perform with them. And once I did, I was like, all right, cool, I got my fill. And then decided to leave dance because it was taking up way too much time.
But it's so cool. I mean, I was thinking was it a media club, or was it you did something with acting? Because there was the artificial roots, or how was it called, or was that the competition where you did that with the artificial roots, or?
I think you might be referring to one of the competition names.
Yeah, it is. It is the competition name. Yeah, it is. Because I couldn't find those words together. I said, what is it? Because I didn't know it was dance. So now I know it was dancing. So you really did hip hop dancing in videos or just at universities, or?
Yeah, so I danced for a high school team, and that high school team performed and competed at regional competitions. So that's probably what you're referring to.
Yeah.
And there's multiple competitions. There's Vibe. There's World of Dance, things like that. Many competitions out there, but our teams competed at most of them whenever we could. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience, and it's just another way for me to express myself through music. It was awesome.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite R&B or rap song you like to dance on, or?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I like all. I mean, I guess if you could say genre, my favorite genre of music to dance to. is I guess you could say R&B. I like R&B, old school hip hop, not so much the current generation hip hop. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of hip hop nowadays. It's kind of switched pacing, but yeah.
Are you still dancing? Are you still dancing?
No. My body could not keep up with 10 years ago, Kevin.
What is your age, Kevin? What's your age?
I mean, I'm 25.
That's so young, man. That's your body. Yeah, that's so young. It's you can still dance on skyscrapers and everything. I mean, it's still young, but I understand if you don't train for it, it can be hard.
You lose it. Yeah,
it's a very hard sport too. I mean, dancing is hard. But yeah. I never did that on that way. I was dancing with my mom when I was but
not the same, but you know.
As you see, guys, you have Asian roots. I mean, it's all from Asian. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vietnam or where your roots are Vietnamese?
I am Vietnamese American. My parents were born in Vietnam, then they immigrated over here, and I was born here. So I guess you could say I'm a second generation Vietnamese American.
You're just an American. I mean,
just an American.
You're just an American. It's like we don't have it a lot here, but we have last weekend in Amsterdam. We had how you call it again in English? 10,000 of people were demonstrating.
Protests.
Yeah, protests for Asian hate things, and we really had no idea.
Oh yeah.
And then we saw actually that in America it's so hard on this moment. It's I mean, that's ridiculous. It's do you feel anything of that, or is that?
Personally, I haven't encountered, any Asian hate towards myself, but I have been seeing it a lot in the media, specifically towards, for some reason, the older Asian generation.
Crazy.
And it's really tough to see, and I really do want to raise awareness towards that. And I think it really does stem from, our previous president, President Trump. Not to get political here.
No.
He kind of painted a stigma towards Asians, with his distaste for China, and him kind of like painting that coronavirus was planted here by the Chinese, and that kind of just bled into American minds of people thinking, oh, like it's all Asians' fault, like every single Asian. I hate every single Asian, and that kind of grew over the year. While coronavirus was happening, kind of just infested in people's minds, and then now it's all of a sudden it's random people attacking elderly Asian people for no reason. And
crazy, man!
It's crazy. It's tough to see.
I wasn't aware. I really wasn't aware of that till we had last week in the newspapers. We had just a woman who was in an elevator, and people came in and she was
they
really
just beat her up.
It's idiot. It's really
terrible.
It's I think you're right. I think it was Trump's fault. He did it, and I'm with you there. Yeah. It's 100% his mistake, because he really demonized that thing in a way of it's all Asian fault and that kind of things, and yeah, I really hope that you're not getting more problems or anything with that there, and I really hope it quits very soon, because man, we're all people. We're all just people, and
it's rough.
Maybe I don't know if I'm going on the wrong path over here now, but I saw some in my investigation in Kevin Tran. I saw some anniversaries. But it stopped. Are you married or?
Oh no. So I do have a girlfriend. Her name is Caitlin. I'm currently living with her. As you can see, this is her office setup right behind me.
Okay.
But yeah, we've been dating together for about 6.5 years now, almost 7 at the end of this year. So yeah, been together since college, and it's pretty serious.
She's your model, isn't she?
She is my model. Yeah. So when I was starting to get into photography, she was the one that I would practice on and, kind of direct with posing and everything. So yeah, she's been a big support, with within my career, and now, as you can see, things are going great. So looking good.
I mean, we all know that some American teams wants to come over to Europe, but I saw you already were here. You were already over in this area.
Yeah. I was.
I saw you visit London. I saw you visit Paris. I saw you visit Amsterdam. So
yes.
Tell us about
it. Yeah, so that was actually my first time ever going to Europe. And the only thing I know about Europe is from movies, or TV shows. But I never really expected to see it in person. And let me tell you, you guys have it nice. It's really nice over there. And I was just surprised about, how fast it was to travel from one country to the next, because America is just one big continent, and if we want to go to, England or something, we have to fly across the ocean. But for you guys, if you want to go from England to France, it's what, like a
1 hour
flight or two? Yeah, there you go. See?
1 hour, 20 minutes flight, something.
Yeah, so traveling between the countries was pretty eye-opening for me. And it was just interesting to see that there's so many mixes of cultures that are so close together, but you guys still are retaining your culture within your country, even though you're sharing so many borders with other countries and cultures.
Yeah, we have every country has their own language, so we don't understand the Italian, we don't understand the French, the Romanian, but okay, I speak English, I speak German, and I understand Spanish and a little bit of it, but it's every country has their own language, and in the countries there are their own
like customs.
Yeah, there's their own custom slang things, but it's completely different. In America, you all speak American. The other one speaks a little bit. I can't find the word. That's what I say. My English sometimes I really have to search at dialect. They have their own dialect, and
right.
But it's no. But tell me, was it for work or was it just with family the trip or?
Yeah, it was just with my girlfriend and her family. We just wanted to, make a trip out of it. It was we planned a big vacation, and that year we just happened to make it a big one to go over to Europe, and we wanted to see some of the bigger countries, like England, France, and then what's surprising is that out of all of those countries that we visited in Europe, the one that surprised me and my girlfriend the most was actually Amsterdam. Amsterdam, we had no idea what to expect. We were just like, oh yeah, cool. They have canals. That's, it's a port city, right? But when we got there, the very first thing that we thought was, holy crap, this place is so clean. Like the streets were so clean and so modern. It was way more modern than say like France and England, or Great Britain. But yeah, for some reason, I think they just implemented more modern technology. Like I think it was the trains or something, or the public transportation system.
The metros.
The metro. Yeah, so clean, so simple, easy to use, and it was awesome.
But it's well, what I like about Amsterdam, because I'm living 2.5 hours from Amsterdam. I'm living in the south. Okay. I'm really at the Belgian border, and I'm from Maastricht, and what I like from Amsterdam is it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter what color you are, where you're from. If you're walking down there in a yellow skirt and an orange top, as a man with a beard like that, they're not looking at it. It's all, you can be who you want.
It's very inclusive. Yeah, very inclusive.
It is. You can be awesome. You can be who you want to be in Amsterdam. And that's what I like about that city. Of course, for the rest of the world, Amsterdam is known by their first, we were the first country in the world where legal marijuana was legal and that kind of things. But that's not Amsterdam. Amsterdam is going a little bit further than that. And the red district, but they have that all somewhere. But there is a lot of, if you really go into the culture and you go into Rembrandt's, did you visit some museums?
I visited the museum. I forget what the name was.
Van Gogh with a Van Gogh museum, Rijks.
Yes. Yeah, it was an art museum. I distinctly remember seeing like a statue of an astronaut floating above water.
It was a Rijksmuseum. I think it was a
Rijksmuseum. It was an art museum though.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So that was actually the question of those 3 that you visited, which one was your favorite? So
yeah, I would say Amsterdam was definitely a favorite because it was so surprising. Of course, when we visited France, seeing all of the architecture and culture of things was also very surprising. Seeing the Eiffel Tower, everyone sees the Eiffel Tower right when they visit France, and they don't realize how big it is.
It is.
You're right up against it, and you're looking up. You're like, oh damn, that's pretty high.
You were up there. You went up there.
We did go up there. We did go up there.
Yeah, but Paris is one of my, actually Paris and London. I always say London is like New York because I think it's the European New York. Why? Because everything is in London. I love London.
Yeah.
And if you want to go for love and if you want to go for food, you have to go to Paris because it's all in Paris. That's in Paris.
Yeah.
But if you want to have the theater, musicals, film, that thing, you really have to be in London, I think. So
right.
Yeah, but that's the same that I had in a lot of people. I really enjoy myself in Las Vegas always. I mean, I love Vegas.
Oh yeah, Vegas is a landmark for a lot of people.
It is. It's where you really. I have that same feeling. You can be yourself. You really can be yourself, and LA is cool too. I mean, but LA has different. I like the vibe in LA. I like the vibe in LA, but you don't have any borders or any things in Las Vegas, and that's what I like too. It's all it's all schmuck and it's all that thing. But yeah, sometimes it's funny to be fooled, and there it is, definitely there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I saw one video of you where I really saw the enjoyment on your face, and. That video was there, and you was like waving like that, and I was on an electric skateboard. Explain that feeling, because I want to do that thing on that moment when I saw that video. Yeah.
So I don't know if you know, I really like longboarding, snowboarding. I'm very big on snowboarding as well. But when winter is over and you got like 3 seasons to go through until you can go snowboarding again, you kind of want that feeling again. And so, I was looking online and I saw videos of people using these electric longboards where you don't have to pedal. You just have a remote that pushes you forward. And I was like, man, that looks so awesome. That's so cool. So I did some more research and I actually found a Swedish brand called Onsra. And they make a really great electric skateboard. And I just pulled the trigger. I was like, you know what? I have the stimulus check from our government. They gave us, a lot of money. And I was like, you know what? I don't really need this money right now. I might as well buy it on something very irresponsible. So I bought electric longboard. And the best way to describe it is snowboarding on concrete.
Yeah, man, awesome. That face you have on that video. I mean, I don't know who filmed it, but somebody on a motorcycle or on a bicycle were filming it, or?
No. So I actually have a 360 camera. Actually, I have one right here. This is the Insta 360 right here.
Oh, cool.
And this guy films in 360 degrees. So what you do is you just put it on the stick that it comes with, and it actually edits it out inside of the camera so that when you play it back, it looks like you're not holding anything. It looks like someone is following you.
I didn't saw any stick in your hand, so.
Yeah. This guy right here.
Cool, man. That was that. But I saw the enjoyment on your face. It was really like.
It's awesome. They go fast too. They go fast. I'm talking like 30 miles per hour. It's a little scary, but you work yourself up to it.
I never saw it.
When you're going that fast, it's pretty scary.
But do you need the skills? Do you need the snowboard skills? Do you need them, or do you need the snowboard skills to be on a board?
No. I would say you would need longboard skills. But if you have snowboarding skills, then you can kind of merge them together and kind of use it like a snowboard.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing for me on my longboard is I have an adapter called a it's a surf adapter that you attach to your longboard. And instead of making your trucks tilt at an angle like this, they will rotate forward. So the nose of your longboard will swing as if it's like a snowboard or a surfboard.
Oh, cool. That's really cool. That's cool. I really, if I was younger, I really definitely was buying a thing like that. But
hey, I'm telling you right now, in Orange County, in the city and area that I live, most electric longboarders, I'm in a Facebook group of electric longboarders. Most electric longboarders in this area are 45 and up.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay.
You are never too old to ride an electric longboard.
That's true. I'm gonna write it down. How was the name of the Swedish company?
The name of the brand that I have is Onstra. Onstra. ONSRA. A Swedish guy. Swedish brand.
Onstra. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I noted that. I'm digging a little bit deeper in there. Maybe
I better see you.
If I'm gonna do it, I'm only gonna do it to have that feeling you had on that board and what you showed me with your content. That was really amazing.
Good.
Hey, good. Kevin, let's jump into sports. I mean,
sure.
Where did sports started for you? I mean,
yeah. So when I was a kid, I played a lot of basketball. I was on my high school basketball team. I also did a lot of Taekwondo, so martial arts. And after that, I ran track, and I was a sprinter and a hurdler. So I was definitely in, active sports. I was always kind of pushing myself to play anything competitive. And then after that, then came dance, and I did dance for a while. And then now it's just been airsoft. That's kind of been my go-to active competitive sport.
Then SpeedQB and airsoft came. And so how did Union and Kevin started in Union and SpeedQB? Where did it start?
Yes. So I don't know if you know, but I am one of the creators of Union. And Union was created by myself and a group of friends, some coworkers. And basically what happened was that me and my coworkers, we were just kind of sitting around and we saw videos of SYG and videos of people playing at Tac City. And we're like, you know what, that looks kind of fun. I used to have an airsoft gun when I was a kid. It was like a clear plastic gun that you get from Walmart or something. And I was like, you know what, I remember having a lot of fun with that. Let me go ahead and give it a try now that I'm older. So we went out with a group of, 4 or 5 guys, went out to play for the first time. And we had so much fun. We got destroyed, but we had fun. And after that, we kind of did some more research of airsoft, and we saw that SpeedQB was a playstyle. It was a thing. It was a competition. And they were like, yeah, all you need is 5 players and you can come and compete. And so I looked around at all our friends. We're like, hey, we have 5 guys. Why don't we give it a try? And from there, we named ourselves Union. We made some very cheap team shirts. And
where did the name Union came from? I mean,
what's funny is that one of my coworkers, one of the original founders, he just decided we were called Union. He didn't even ask. He just said, hey, I think Union sounds cool. And then he came over and he was like, yeah, I already made patches for us. And we didn't even get to vote. We were just like, okay, he already made patches. I guess we're called Union,
That's a cool name.
Fun tip. When we were first deciding on making a team name, one of the names that was really high on our list, at least on my list, was Ronins.
Ronins.
I was debating on being called the Ronins. Hey, there you go. Yeah, they're the Ronins. Yeah, and I think someone already took that name later on. But yeah, fun fact: we were almost the Ronins, but we ended up going with Union.
Yeah, but it's a cool name. I mean, I saw you guys playing, and you are giving in a kind of new flavor on the sport, and it's different because I know you're a right back player. You're a right back player. And
I'm back player,
and that's your position. And
so when we first started playing, everyone was kind of figuring out what positions were best for their play style. When I was first starting out, I actually used to be the rusher. I used to be the flag rusher. But it turns out that we have other players on our team that are more suited for that, little, smaller, faster, someone that can just dive in there and still stay hidden. Because for me, I'm a little on the taller side. So when I'm diving into that X and I stand up to get a shot off, I always get my head shot off. So I was like, you know what? I'll stay in the back.
I understand. I'm going to be honest with you. The thing that Union stick with me were two things. And the first thing was, I was really surprised because I explain why later. But my first one was, there was a little kid walking around on that field, Union Young, and he was 11. Here in Amsterdam, we are not allowed, the kids are not allowed to play. So you have to be 18 over here.
I see.
To play SpeedQB. So I was there and I really was concerned, like, is that legal? Is that okay? Or is that not okay? But it was. And then that little kid with the balls he had, man, he was just...
He is fire. Insane.
He's the future. He's the future. I think he's the future of SpeedQB. And
absolutely.
That was the first marker for me. It was something that stayed in my head, and I connected that with Union. And I really thought that's fresh, to be honest. And how the community picked that guy up, there was respect to him, and there was respect other side, and that was really cool to see. So that was one thing. The other thing was actually not a person, but it was it was Project Contagion, and
that was my gun.
Your gun. Talk about your gun, man. I mean, when I saw that was the first time I saw it. Inspired me, actually, to be honest, to go wild on customs. It's something. And explain the name again, because I didn't say it good. I think so.
So Project Contagion. Wow. So most people know me from way back when. They know me by my gun. They don't know me by my face. They know me by my gun. And it all started because, I played a lot of Call of Duties, and I was familiar with camo patterns. When you're playing a video game, you could customize your gun to the extreme. You could throw a camo pattern on it. And at that time in airsoft, I didn't see much of it. Like maybe a little bit of spray paint here and there, but it was like, desert tan, nothing crazy, nothing wild, right? And I just had the idea that I was like, you know what? I really like being able to customize my guns in video games and kind of make a statement, like, this is my gun, And I decided, hey, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to do a hydro dip. Many people ask me how I, painted my gun. It's a hydro dip. And I'm going to go with a color and pattern that kind of represents me. So my name was Virus. My color was yellow. So I was like, I'll do like a yellow tiger stripe camo. That was kind of inspired by Call of Duty. And from there, man, people were just eating it up. They're like, oh my God, I've never seen a yellow gun ever. It was all over the field. Everyone always come up to me like, yo, like, how'd you paint your gun? Like, your gun's so cool. But I think what took it up to the next level was when I added the drop stock adapter, my custom made drop stock adapter. And that was the thing that really set it to the next level of like, this is Kevin's gun. Because everyone was like, why are you using a drop stock adapter? Like back then they didn't even know what to call it. They were like, what? Your stock is broken. Like, why is it hanging on by a clamp? Like, what are you doing? And then once I showed them, I was like, yeah, I use a dye mask and I actually, shoot with my sights, but I can't like aim down my gun without the cheek weld, like hitting the buffer tube. So I just dropped it down, and it was actually inspired by players from Japan.
Yeah.
That was the very first time I've ever seen that kind of adapter being used, was from Japan. And shout out to Flipsoft, shout out to players from Black Fox.
Yeah.
Those were the guys that originally inspired me to do the drop stock adapter. And I think I was the first one in the States to actually implement it, because everyone was like, that's so ridiculous. I would never. Yeah, but once I started using it, everyone was like, oh, I need that.
That's so good. As I said, that was the second what I remembered from Union, and the way how they play, of course. And your gun, I mean, it's a It's a G&G combat machine. That's where. So, and then you upgraded all those parts and
yeah,
to make it yourself.
Right. So the body, the main receiver was a G&G combat machine. Then I added a new rail, very aggressive looking rail, MFT stock, put a Polar Star jack in it. So yeah, pretty much like gutted it and upgraded the accessories.
Going to there, because I heard somewhere that before you preferred DSG.
No, so actually, before I preferred HPA.
Yeah.
So that rifle started out as an HPA system. So I actually bought that rifle as a G&G combat machine from someone else.
Yeah.
But they sold it to me as a Polar Star. It didn't have an AEG internals. So the very first rifle I ever used in airsoft was an HPA system.
Okay.
Which was pretty crazy.
But then you went to DSG, or
yes.
What do you prefer, DSG or HPA?
So I kind of been flipping back and forth. So originally I started with HPA. I loved HPA. But now that DSG technology has kind of upgraded and been more consistent, I've been shifting more towards DSG because now I don't have to wear a backpack. And so the very first time I used DSG, I felt so free because I'm not being exposed by a tank and backpack on my back.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's Euro Tactics grips. And now it's the best of both worlds. You know, you get the consistency and performance of HPA, but the mobility of an AEG. You know, you don't have to wear a backpack anymore. And so, you know, that's why I'm torn between both now. Because I know that there's both.
A lot of people prefer the sports grip. I mean, it's because with the sports grip, you really have the possibility to feel free. And but from the other side, we know that people love DSG. We know that people love SSG, but it's something that is really personal. You know, I think it's really personal, and
it is.
You have to deliver everything that people prefers. Like to be honest, last week I shot with our Demi Bar builded Kitera with the CO2 drop in the stock.
Oh, in the stock.
Man, that's amazing. That's
cool.
If cool. I ever would go on the field again, and not, if I would play outdoor, I would take a gun like that. I mean, nothing, no battery switches, just the ample out, new one in there. Yeah. You shot 200 shots with a 12 gram CO2
cartridge. Yep.
Yeah. So it's crazy, but this market is developing so fast. I mean, how old is your gun?
I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years.
See how fast things go. I mean, you were one of
so fast.
It's going so fast, and
so fast.
If you see the colors now, people wants to, as you said, it's like people want to put their own identity in their own gun. And when you play Call of Duty, you can color your guns as you want, but you can't. Yeah. You couldn't do that with an airsoft gun or till now.
Right.
And that's why I think it's so hot. And people put their own personality in their gun, and that's so cool. So I think your gun, I have to say that. What was the name from your gun again?
Project Contagion.
That's it. That was, I think, the beginning of what's being a. Yeah, it's very hip now on this moment. I think it was the beginning because for me, it was one of the guns I saw. Like, okay, that's cool. I think this we can do more about that. And yeah. And from the other side, we have to change a lot. So, but how important is that gun for you? Still now, how important is that gun for you?
I'm still using that gun today. It still will be my competition rifle. And you know, people still know me by it, and I kind of want to keep that going as long as I can. You know, everyone has their signature gun. Some people, they sell off, you know, they sell their babies, they sell their prized guns. But for me, I'm going to keep that guy forever. And even if I'm not going to be using it anymore, I'm going to frame it on my wall.
That's cool. That's it. That's a part of your identity. And
that's right.
It's as I said, you are a back player, right? Back player.
Yes.
From all the teams, who is your biggest nemesis?
Ooh, out of all the teams, my biggest nemesis. In terms of team or individual, like
Individual player, yeah, individual player.
Individual player. Ooh, I'm gonna have to say one of the hardest matchups I usually have is up against SYG Phantom. He's basically my mirror matchup. And anytime we're practicing on a SpeedQB Monday or playing against each other in tournaments, we are always on each other's ass. And I'm telling you, because he has a very fast trigger finger, but he uses HPA. I also have a very fast trigger finger, and we are just neck and neck. Like anytime we get an advantage, like we'll get peek out, hold the position, then we'll snap back in, and we're always just on top of each other. It's a very good fight, but for me it's a lot of fun to face off against that.
That's So, Phantom, this one is for you then. It's what is as a team? What was your biggest game you played till now?
I want to say the biggest game that we actually played was one up against LTD. So I don't know. I'm sure you know LTD.
Of course we know LTD
is the top team in America right now. They're the rating champs for a long time. And playing against them is always a challenge because they don't play like hard I guess you could say traditional SpeedQB players. They play with a little bit more of a slower pace. They're very tactical, and their play style is very dependent on you making mistakes. They're very patient, and that's why I really like playing against them, because it really brings out your stamina and how long you can hold out against yourself. Because once you make a mistake, man, LTD will pounce on you and they will just run right through you. Just one mistake, it's all over.
I saw them playing twice. So I saw them at Project One, and I saw them in 2018 in Tech City.
Mm-hmm.
They are tactical, very tactical, and as I don't say the name wizard, but more fox. They were foxes waiting till their enemy makes that mistake.
Very, very methodical.
Yeah,
very methodical. Yeah, and which is very refreshing to see, because a lot of teams that I see out nowadays in SpeedQB, I see so many teams now just kind of rushing and suiciding themselves. They just play like aggression, but they don't realize that, hey, let's sit back and think about this a little bit. And maybe we'll win.
That's it. The only thing is they are very close. They are very close and very close to, because it's their habitat, and it's very hard to get in there. And sometimes you just want to know something about people, And but I understand where it all comes from, because that's culture I don't understand, because it's where you live with guys. But they are amazing players, and they have some amazing players. And a big fight is coming out with you soon, with one of the LTD players.
Yeah. So KWA had me come out and compete in their 1v1 tournament.
Yeah.
And I competed up against LTD Manny, and a bunch of other players also competed on that. And it's dropping soon, so I don't want to spoil anything. No. I will say it's very exciting to watch, and it was a lot of fun to play. And I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Yeah, it's what do you think about the 1v1s? What do you think about the 1v1s?
So the 1v1s is definitely it's a very refreshing take on a competitive aspect of airsoft. Because again, it's a very intimate thing. It's 1 versus 1, and you really get to see those individual play styles show in those situations. Because with teams, every team has a certain play style. But when it comes to a 1v1 situation, you're just relying on yourself, and
that's it.
It's do or die out there.
That's it. We're really making we're working together with KWA, and we're working something out in Europe, and with Dash Masters. We will drop this very soon into the market.
Nice.
And I really looking forward to those 1v1s, because that's so much adrenaline, and that it's a different level. And for a lot of lonely wolves and Saturday and Sunday warriors who can't find a team to do competitive, I think this is a good option to get yourself into competitive, in competitive airsoft. And
Right.
because I'm happy that we did it 3 years ago, but I really don't stop now anymore because I want to make sport wider than only SpeedQB. I want to make the sport
Right.
in CQB and everything. And that's what we try to do together with KWA, with Dashmaster. So I really hope that you're going to be here once and play in the Five Nights. And
That's the dream. That's the dream.
That's it. So what do you think about the international growth of SpeedQB? What do you think about that?
Wow, it is crazy to think that SpeedQB has extended throughout the whole world. You know, we see people in Puerto Rico, Brazil, Europe, China. You know, it's been basically adopted everywhere now, and it's awesome. It's amazing to see that people are interested in this kind of thing and kind of growing it in their own ways. And personally, my dream is to visit all of them, you know, and kind of see how they do things and see how their play style is, because I don't know if you noticed, but different countries have different play styles, which is awesome. I like seeing different cultures adopt a certain play style.
Well, I mean, the teams who are coming up now from nothing to where they are now.
Crazy.
As I said again, I think I say it in every podcast, is like Australia with their gel balls, but
right,
they are really going for that. They are really growing every time I see it. It's growing and it's growing.
Right.
But Brazil, man, that's the level that we all want to watch. I mean, that's something that they are shooting like pew, as a rocket.
Yeah.
So yeah. And if you could choose a team where you really want to play against, international team, what team would that be?
Oh, second to none. Second to none. Absolutely, second to none.
Why?
Like I said, one thing I will tell every single aspiring SpeedQB team or SpeedQB player is, if you want to be the best, you got to play the best. Mm-hmm. All right. And so for us, I love playing against LTD because they're currently the best. They're currently the reigning champions. And if we want to improve, we have to figure out why we're losing up against them. And the only way to do that is to keep playing them. And for you guys in Europe, you know, second to none is top team. You know, they're champions. I want to play the champions. I want to see why they're champions. I want to see firsthand why I am either winning or losing up against them.
That's it.
What I'm doing wrong.
That's it. Man, time flies. I mean, we're already there for 50 minutes, and
yeah,
just to there. I don't know. Did you ever listen to a Bert To The Bone?
I did. I listened to your highlights that you post on your Instagram.
Okay. But there is one part where my guest can ask some questions to me, and
yeah,
I'm through my no, I have one more question before we go there. Sorry.
Okay.
So where do you see yourself and Union in 4 years in the SpeedQB?
See myself in Union in 4 years.
You and Union.
So in 4 years, I will probably still be playing airsoft. I want to play airsoft as long as I can. And I know, you know, people are still playing in their 30s, 40s. So I know it is possible. I may not be as fast or as, you know, active.
You're baby, man. You're 25, man. You can look at Junkie and look at those old man. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
That's
why I know. That's why I know I can still be able to play airsoft. So yeah, I'll still probably be playing airsoft. As with Union, you know, I'm hoping to still keep it going, keep it growing. You know, obviously some players may be shifting onto different phases of their lives, but we're always still looking for new players to kind of
get some youngs,
add on and grow. And like I said, Union Young, he's the future. He's the future. Who knows? He may be team captain. He might even own Union. Who knows?
I think get some youngs, get some more youngs. I mean, you have in America, you have the possibility to get them as young as he was. So
right.
You just have to find the parents who are crazy enough to allow it. And
right.
But it's no, but he's gonna be, It's not because he's young, but he's an amazing player. He's a very aggressive player, to be honest. Like
very aggressive.
And but he's an amazing kid. So
yeah.
And we're gonna see you in one of our championships, or
I hope so. I really do hope so. Well, definitely within the next 4 years, you're going to see Union over in Europe.
That's it. And
Mark my words.
And from the other side, we're gonna travel to there, and some teams have to play against Union. So now we're at the point where you have the time. Maybe you have some questions for me.
Yeah. So I guess one of the first questions that I wanted to ask was, I noticed for the European SpeedQB scene, a lot of your fields are ginormous, gigantic. I know you've seen our field at Project N1, tiny. Yeah, it is very small. And I'm wondering what you think would happen if European teams played up against American teams on a much smaller environment, because we are grown to play in this very, very CQB field. And our BBs travel much faster. They hit their targets much faster and much sooner than you think. So I'm wondering, what do you think would happen if European teams played on our sized fields against American teams?
Well, they have to train. The only thing I have to do is cut the field in half and build it in there. But it's you're right. I think from both sides is like the field at Project N1 is so much smaller.
Very small.
That is, but you can have a very quick cover.
Right.
So when you break out at our fields over here, you really have to run to get the cover. So there's a different breakout. So now, so I really think that they're feeling like a little fish in a can when they come over, and it's going to be very nervous for them. But I think they can adapt it. I think it's the other way. I think it's harder. I don't know, but because I can't say it as a player because I don't play the sport. I only organize and do the sport. But I think from going to big to small is in the sport easier than going from small to big because there's more space. And
right.
That so I don't know what is an advantage. I really have no idea. But with the new thing, you have to have the space. So you're right. Maybe they will have a disadvantage when they come over to smaller fields. Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. All right. Another question I had. This is pretty big one in terms of format. So I know SpeedQB America has a different, I guess you could say, rule set than SpeedQB Europe. And one of the biggest things in America that is happening right now in SpeedQB is that anytime a ref sees a no call, the team that got the no call instantly loses the entire round. Whereas in Europe, if you get a no call, you only lose points.
Yep.
Now, what do you think? Obviously, you're from Europe, so I'm assuming you think that the European format is better. But what do you think the better solution is and why?
Well, the good thing what I can say is that like Roy and Ramon and Eric and I, we work much more together than people know because we are SpeedQB Europe. And so we sit down, we were sitting down the last months and to give you an heads up that all the rules worldwide are going to be the same. So it's going to be the same in America as in Europe. And the base was the European rules that we played. And from there on we built. So there are some extra changes, but coming back to your question is like, I was at Project One.
Right.
And I think the rule killed some brilliant games.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It killed some brilliant games that on the moment where there were really some games where we're looking forward to. And on the moment, one mistake was that.
Yep.
And
kills it.
And you need to have your focus on your referees. So that's why the referees over here, how we train them is you have to call them. You have to go there and call them out.
Right.
And there will be more news in the future about because we're going to do now a pro league in 2021 and it's going to be a little bit different. I know in America it sounds different because when you're a pro you have to pay money or you have to earn money, but we're just trying to put the level a little bit higher that you have to be more committed to the sport. But we want to go into that when you get a penalty, that you really directly get a penalty, and not only in points, but you really you cannot do a breakout for 2 rounds if it's a second degree, or when it's a first degree penalty, you cannot break out for 5 rounds. So it's going to be a different style. So yeah, my answer on your question is, I would never. No, I don't like the style that the game is over when one is making a foul, because there were some beautiful games there. I really was exciting, and I was looking forward to. And after 10 seconds or 15 seconds, they were gone, and that's not a good rule. But yeah, that's my vision. I mean,
okay, all right. Fair enough.
What do you think?
Now, do you think that the rule with it not, because I understand why they would put that rule in, is to discourage cheating at all costs, because, with airsoft, it is very hard to determine if a player was actually hit or not and for them to call it. So with it being a point system and penalty, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, where you need to find a fine line where it's still a really big incentive to call your hit and not cheat, but it needs to be not big enough where it stops the entire game.
Yeah. As I said, like the pro division that we're going to do now here with 8 teams, when you are getting a foul, there is a penalty box on the field, but it's plexi. So you have to stand in there for 2 rounds, and you have to stay in the field. And so the cameras will be on there. So it's
like a box of shame.
Yeah, well, when I said it, when we said it, it was like Tyson from Legion. He said, "Oh, the naughty box." But yeah, it's something like that. We really want that people are getting known that taking falls or cheating is not allowed, and we have to fight for that to keep our sport healthy. And I think this is something that is going to help with that. Right.
All right. That's good to hear. All right. Then I guess another question for you guys is, out of all the teams in America, what are the top 3 teams that are kind of being the names that are being dropped in Europe that you guys talk about from
S01E09, LTD, Union.
Really?
Those are the 3.
Wow, that is very surprising. And I think you mentioned Union being very popular in Europe.
Yeah.
But didn't really elaborate on why. Because honestly, for me, I asked myself, like, why are we so popular in Europe? I don't understand.
It's young. It's young. I think it's a young team. It's a different team because your style is completely different. And I think some content that you made some brilliant content, and I think that helps with the people. So yeah, you as Union, you are very popular, and I think the content helped. I think the style helped, and I think Young helped in there too. It's
definitely.
It's so and your gun and yourself and the players. So it's no, it's a cool team. Nice. It's a swag team. It's like.
Thank you.
So and I like it. So I've got a badge. I've got a Union patch. So yeah, but I need a new one. I want a Ronin one now.
custom limited edition Ronin.
That's a Union Ronin. So, do you have more questions? If not, I have my last statement questions. So,
let me see. I guess I'll have one more question for you. Where do you see SpeedQB Europe in 5 years? Where do you see it?
I will not say as Europe. I see it as SpeedQB worldwide. I see it as because I'm working very hard together with the guys in LA that SpeedQB Europe and SpeedQB Brazil, and it's all SpeedQB. We all play with the same rules. We all play with the same sport. And how do I see SpeedQB in the next 5 years? We're working hard on it, but I don't know it's gonna happen in 5 years, but we're gonna do our best to bring the sport at least the same level as the paintball level. And we are capable of doing that, I think. Right. But that's our goal. And I hope together with all the communities worldwide, we can launch this. So we could learn a lot from the paintball thing. I mean, we could learn a lot from the mistakes and their good things. So, and this is a completely different sport. So I really hope, I really see that there is going to be a professional sport in 5 years. Maybe not as big as paintball now it is, but growing to there in the next 10 years, I think we are on the same level. That's what I think.
Right. Well, that's good to hear.
Cool.
Awesome.
Now I've got the last questions to you, and you can only choose one of what I ask you.
Okay.
Did you heard it or not? Did you heard it before? No? So I give you 2 options, and you have to choose one. There's no but, or I liked it both. You have to choose one. There we go. Okay.
I have to choose one. Okay.
There we go. NFL or NBA?
NBA.
Photo or video?
Photo.
Iron Man or Hulk?
Iron Man.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
LA Dodgers or LA Clippers?
Dodgers.
BMW or Dodge?
BMW.
Motorbike or bicycle?
Motorbike.
SpeedQB or paintball?
SpeedQB.
Chargers or Rams?
Chargers.
Sosa or Figgy?
Ooh. I'm about to say Figgy.
Dreams or goals?
Ooh. Goals.
Skateboarding or snowboarding?
Snowboarding.
Amsterdam or London?
Amsterdam.
Green or blue?
Blue?
Hard or soft?
Hard?
Jesus or God?
Ooh. God.
M4 or pistol?
M4.
Big or small?
Big.
Fury or rage?
Fury.
Give or get?
Give.
Second to none or LTD?
Oh. I'm going to have to rep our home team, LTD. Sorry,
These were the ones, man. You passed. You passed.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
It's no, not sorry. I mean, that's what I like. You know, it's like just giving the answer. It's
Sure.
Kevin, I really can say now I learned much more about you, and I really hope the listeners are going to learn much more about you. I really enjoyed the time we had, and I really hope to see you soon in the next coming months. I hope that I can fly over But thanks for your time. And
of course, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and this was a really fun thing to do, and I appreciate you asking me to be on here.
Of course, and I hope that we're gonna get some more union members soon. Yeah, it was really nice. I really enjoyed this conversation, man. Hope to see you soon. All my love to the guys of Union and everybody you see there. And peace.
Peace out, man.
Peace out.